Tonight, we take a break from the intricacies of points-paying racing and present the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series All-Star Race and qualify already underway as the best drivers in this league do battle for the first time at the new Atlanta Motor Speedway reconfigured last year and now on the iRacing platform for every driver to enjoy as a 100-lap showdown awaits in just a few minutes time. As it is, Michael Deitch going to be top of the board, provisional pole for the driver of the number 44 machine, as Stephen Boynton, our debutant in this event, is going to be in second. Barrett Flo, yet another debutant, going to be in that 003, is in third right now. Hunter Terpstra going to be fourth, and Sam Benson position number 5. Barrett Flo going to be able to overtake Deitch that time through. Michael Deitch going to have to run something back. He's going to be able to get back up to second. Not going to be able to get back up into first. So Sam Benson now going to be position number 2 on the board in that number 12. And drivers already getting on their way. Cameron Perez on the move. Jordan Coots in that 00. Going to be running the high side, getting a bit more momentum for the second and final lap that he would take here in qualifying. For the production standpoint and from leading on the commentary box, I'm David Kreutz. I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation as we get started for a very action-packed race. New Atlanta, akin to a super speedway, although it is much shorter. And that is going to lead us to a lot of action-packed, great racing that we haven't seen all too much when it comes to this specific type of racing. A lot of great racing, of course. We've got the short tracks, gone to intermediates, and we went to a full-on super speedway at Daytona International. Cameron Perez is going to be third on the board. Mike Campbell going to be in 6th. And Jordan Coots, now your provisional pole sitter, as the driver who leads the championship standings, goes top of the board. Vinny Tigner there in second. He's also second in the points. So top 2 drivers all season long. Now first and second once again. And who'd have thought, as Mike Campbell going to be there in the 8th spot. Carter Casey now in the number 1 machine, ripping up on the high side. First lap in for him, and he's going to get himself situated as drivers are still getting through their qualifying laps. So far, Cody Webster and Nicholas Pressey on the board as well, and that's going to give only Aaron Brown, Josh Coloni, and Brendan Timon the remainder of the track, as Carter Casey now going to be able to take it to 13th on the spot. It's going to be the final driver to take it lap. So far, Carter Casey, 13 out of 13 drivers, and Nicholas Pressey now gets through 1 lap, and he's going to be on his way for his second. So this one's for all the marbles here, as this will determine where he starts in the all-star race. It's going to be only 20 drivers allowed in the main event that are locked in, and so far we have a total of 18 drivers in the session, so every driver will make the all-star event by force there, and that's going to mean that we will have every driver on your screen on the way. No driver going to go home tonight, and now Nicholas Pressey able to take it to the 14th on the charts. Brandon Timon, maybe the last driver out, although it appears he might not have enough time to set 1 full lap. Time is going to be on his way, and if he does not get one in, he will be starting about dead last. And that it appears to be 2024 iRating, so it looks like here in 2023, Timon, the lowest iRating of any driver that has not set a qualifying lap. Cody Webster goes up into 7th of the number 91, but Brandon now going to be able to get to start-finish line with 25 seconds remaining. I don't believe that's going to be enough time as we ride on board with the driver of that number 34. As you can see so far, Brandon Timon on the move, going to be running that inside line, less distance, so it preserves all the speed that he has in there. And look at how he just uses that handwork to keep him going. Very little handwork, a nice new service, but that will be all she wrote, as qualifying going to end before he gets to the start-finish line. So qualifying over, and Brandon Timon going to be starting final driver on the board in 19th position. 5 minutes remain here in warm-up, and that will give us 5 minutes to get through your starting grid for tonight's event, and the best starting grid we've had all season long. The best of the best in the Stock Car Racing League and the Redline Truck Series. They are here tonight, and they are not playing around. Victories on their mind, and that is for certain as we get your grid up for tonight's event. A great group that will be getting us into what will be about our 5th or 6th event of the season here at Atlanta once again, but a much different look as we get into it, and this will be your starting grid for tonight's event here. This is the Stock Car Racing League All-Star Race in the Redline Truck Series, so let's get into your starting grid for tonight's event. Provisional pole sitter now going to be the real pole sitters. Jordan Coots, top of the board in the championship standings, wins pole position over Vinny Tigner by 2 1/1000ths of a second. Then it's going to be Carter Casey in third with 32.21, and then Davis Lewis fourth, 3,000ths behind him there with a 32.213. Barrett Flo going to be your first debutant on the board, the 003 going to be there, 5th spot with 32.218. Cameron Paris, 3,000 behind him in the number 24, 32.221. Cody Webster going to be there with 32.23, and he's going to be 7th on the board next to Sam Benson. Benson's going to be in that number 12 machine, 32.237 for Benson, who's 13th in points coming into the night. Hunter Terpstra going to be 9th on the board with 32.261, and Mike Campbell rounds out your top 10 here with a 32.262. Your top 10 only going to be separated by about 8/100ths of a second here in the All-Star race, and that just shows how quick these guys all are compared to one another. The remainder of the field is going to go as follows. Inside of row number 6 going to be Jonathan Byram, a debutant as well. He's going to have a 32.33 to set himself off in his Stock Car Racing League quest for victory. First time we've seen him here tonight, and we hope to see him as well as the other debutants in this event for the races to come. Corey Rexford, he's not debuting, but he's starting strong in the 12th spot in that top dozen with a 32.363. Michael Deitch in the number 44 machine, going to be there with 32.398 in position number 13. Then it's going to be Stephen Boynton with a 32.408, number 14 on the board. And your final driver to get a lap in, it's going to be Nicholas Pressey, 15th on the inside of row number 8, 32.772 for the driver of the number 94 machine, and that's going to be your 15 drivers who have taken a time lap. The remainder of the field is going to be set on iRating. Aaron Brown, the first of which, 8th on the board. Well, he's going to fall down to 16th as he's gone down to the bottom of the pack. Number 8 machine, 16th in row number 8. Josh Coloni going to be 17th on the board with the number 33 machine, and Bryce Dacia, Pressey's teammate, only going to be starting a row behind him there in the 07 machine, 18th on the board. And the final driver on row number 10, the number 34 machine, as we mentioned beforehand, not able to set a lap, Brandon Timon. And that is your starting lineup for the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series All-Star Race here in Atlanta, and we are getting ready to go once again. The drivers are still warming up here on your screen, and they're going to go 3 wide down to the front straightaway there. We'll get a better look at the drivers here as they get themselves situated. Cameron Perez is going to be top of the board. It's Barrett Flo there in second. The 24 going to spin on your screen. So as we get your ticker back up and on its way, we'll get an interview for the man who's going to be top of the board here in qualifying, and the man who enters this race and the remainder of the season top of the board in points as well. Jordan Kuntz, things are looking up and up for the driver of the 00. What's it going to be tonight to get the victory at Atlanta?
Well, I think staying at the front and away from the wrecks is going to be a big thing. Super speedway style racing, so just have a clean car for the end. Don't risk it all at the stage and get that win at the end.
And certainly going to be all about avoiding wrecks. Now, you mentioned that 100 laps here. That might sound a bit longer than it actually is. These laps are really quick, about a half minute, and tire wear is not a major factor. So when it comes down to avoiding wrecks, do you think it's just going to be all about starting up front?
Either starting up front or riding in the back and just by yourself the entire race. So, and I prefer the action, leading every lap and getting the win.
So certainly Jordan Kuntz looking forward to having an action-packed night in his own right. So the All-Star race, and then we get back to the remainder of the season. How different is it going to be, the approach here that you take on the quest for victory compared to a normal event in the Stock Car Racing League?
Well, I think it's going to go all out at the end. Save the best for last, and yeah, hopefully get the bragging rights of an All-Star victory.
And there we have it, Jordan Kuntz, 00 on the board. Gridding is going to be in just a few seconds. Any final thoughts?
Thank you to everyone who puts on the show, Cameron and Cody, all of our sponsors, and of course you for broadcasting this every week.
And there we have it, Jordan Kuntz going to be on his way, top of the board here in the All-Star race. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Drag him right back in. That's the voice of the 00 machine in Jordan Kuntz. Gridding going to get started, and the 00 already on the way. Half a lap of pacing before we get this one started, and courtesy of Fisher Studios is going to be on the ticker for the first time tonight. Fisher Studios, a proud partner of the Stock Car Racing League, established in 2018. Got to thank them as they came on board for the last race we did at Atlanta last week, and here they are as a partner for the remainder of this championship quest. And Jordan Kuntz might be the man to watch out for when it comes to the remainder of this title battle. He has been fierce all season long and looking to secure that title bid. Well, he can't do that tonight, but he's still looking to get those bragging rights for winning what could be the most prestigious event in the season, short of the championship race and the Redline 250, our season opener at Daytona. So here we go, led by the iRacing official pace truck, and it will be followed by a total of 19 iRacing NASCAR machineries, Chevys, Fords, and Toyotas, and they're all one of the same in one way. They're all bad fast and looking to make it happen here at Atlanta. As we have just a bit more time before we grab these gears, be sure to join our official Discord to grab a piece of the action here on the Fireball Talks NASCAR YouTube channel. Be sure to be a part of the community, see what's going on, where we broadcast, how you can get involved as a driver, broadcaster, what have you. We'd love to have you aboard. Be sure to scan the QR code on your screen or go to the link in our description, the official Fireball Talks NASCAR Discord server, courtesy of our partners in the Fireball Talks NASCAR administration team, all our great broadcasters, Alexander Valderas and River Page, put on a great show earlier today in the Full Send SuperSpeedway series, and that was a great show to watch at Michigan with the ARCA cars, the newly high-performance, high-power ARCA machines. I tell you what, those are some machines to keep an eye on, but these trucks as well, they have been on the service since just about day one. The first NASCAR licensed machine to be put on iRacing was the Chevrolet Silverado used in the NASCAR Craftsman truck season, Camping World trucks, what have you, in 2008. That Chevrolet Silverado was the machine that paved the way for the partnership that has led us to tonight. A full field of 19 here in the All-Star race, getting ready to do battle for the bragging rights in a great competitive field. Two drivers going to take end-of-line penalties as we get it rolling this time through. Just a bit more time than we thought we had. It's going to be Vinny Tigner second on the board. How we get a word with the man who's going to be in the second spot as we do not go green this time by. So Vinny Tigner, number 99 in the machine. We have one more lap before we get to pacing's conclusion. How's it feeling up front?
It feels pretty good. We'll see. 100 laps to go here. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully make it to the end.
And a lot of time to make it to the end here. It's going to be consistency that is key. And Atlanta, one of these tracks where anything could come at you just like that. A very action-packed one, but it could be a bit dangerous for some of these trucks. And your Chevrolet, it's going to be Silverado out in front. What's it going to take to keep that clean?
Stay right where I am. Hopefully pass one more car here and keep it out front.
And that's absolutely the goal, as we have one lap until the race gets underway. So, Vinny, when it comes down to it, any final thoughts before the remainder of the season gets on its way? Start of the All-Star race?
I'm just going to give it my all here and have some fun. It's it's an All-Star race, so everybody's out to have some fun here. So that's what I plan on doing.
And there we have it. Vinny Tigner going to be second on the board, outside pole position. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Greg, that is the voice of the man in the second spot in points and on the front row. Your top two drivers in qualifying, they're your top two drivers in the point standing so far. So that is something to take note of as we come down the back straightaway one more time under, pacing speed. And we'll get your racing speed in. And it's the here and now for the drivers of the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series, as it's going to be Jordan Kuntz, Vinny Tigner out in front, and right behind him, Carter Casey in position number 3. Davis Lou's going to round out your top 4 with Cameron Perez and Dave Buton, Barrett Flo right behind him. And now it's going to be all about how the 00 gets this launch here in Atlanta, newly reconfigured. New challenge with the same old great drivers in the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series as we get it going. Green flag in the All-Star race for the first time tonight. Let's go racing 100 laps to settle it amongst the best. And there we have it. Jordan Kuntz going to be able to stay side by side. Actually has a bit of a minute edge there. Not going to be enough to make a position so far, but side by side they all roll. And Jordan Kuntz going to be right there with Vinny Tigner double file to the end of the first lap. And we are going to see a side by side battle lead that lap. I believe Vinny Tigner got it on the number 99 machine. and we are underway just like that. 3 wide right behind him. Cameron Perez going to make it so for just a moment. Jordan Kuhn's going to be there in the mix as well, and the double zero machine going to be flying by alongside the Davis Luge machine. Davis going to be able to get it up into second as the high side going to prevail, and Vinny Tigner's now top of the board in that number 99 machine. Jordan Kuhn's going to be right there with Cameron Perez. Side by side, a double file battle. Michael Deitch makes it out of the top 10, as so far it's been 2 by 2 out front as we are just getting things started. 100 laps in, of course, the total out of this event, 3 laps we've gotten into so far. And it's going to be all about how these guys manage their trucks from here on out. And you have to think wisely, think ahead. It's all about preparation and not about impulsive decisions. At a super speedway, that might be a bit hard to follow the logic of, but when you make it happen, you're going to become one of the faster guys on the board. And that's, of course, what you want to see. Riding up over the rear end of the number 24 machine in Cameron Perez. This is going to be the front end, as a matter of fact. You can see us pushing Davis Lewis awfully hard there in that number 24 machine, back in action on iRacing. And he has been putting on a great show ever since his return. One of the top 5, top 10 guys in this league. And he's going to give a shove on the top side. It's going to bring Davis Lewis up in front. Lewis will not leave him just yet, but it's going to be a clear advantage. Just enough to clear for a moment. And now it's going to be a side-by-side battle once again. Riding on board with the number 16 machine. Let's look at Davis Lewis here. At 16 has a load of Cameron Perez right behind him. Tigner already has some damage here. Not major, but he's still going to lose a bit of time and a bit of momentum as a result. And number 16 machine still far and away on the top of the charts. Cameron Perez right there in second. Sam Benson's now going to be able to make his up into the top 3 and up for the man of that number 12 PPG machine. As that 12 has a lot of power in his Ford F-150. We've seen that paint scheme on the Ford Mustang before. The Ford Mustang of Ryan Blaney, and it's still going to be that number 12 combination with PPG and Ford. Going up to the top of the board like it is Ryan Blaney, but this time it's in the trucks. As it's going to be the 24 pushed out in front. Davis Lewis is going to be down to the inside line, and Lewis is now going to be fighting hard with Cameron, your new race leader, the number 24 machine. And it's going to be Lewis losing just a bit more time at the outside. Looks to have a lot of momentum to pull guys up, but they immediately seem to go down just as soon as they get that lead, and it could be because the lesser distance that has to be traveled. Now, that's going to be a big factor as the night goes on. Less distance is traveled on the inside line. You could save your tire just a bit, save your aggression, save it all for another day, but you don't want to save your tears. Right now, it's all about the anticipation and the action, as Perez is going to lose a bit of time. That time through, one driver going to drop to the inside line. That's going to be Barrett Flo there. He goes 3 wide and then drops back behind the drivers of Hunter Terpstra and Bryce Saucier, and that's going to be right wide. There's going to be one driver in the wall. It's going to be Stephen Boynton there, and you can see he's losing more and more time. We'll check back 10 seconds, see what just happened. Looks like he got him at the wall on his own. Aaron Brown able to avoid him, so thankfully Boynton not going to be involved in his first wreck of the year here, and we will continue going. Stephen Boynton going to be involved in the first incident of the night as Davis Lewis still fights hard side by side. He's going to be there for the race lead. They're going to be going hard and strong so far as the 16 of Lewis still has Cameron Perez right beside him. Far from over. Davis going to have to keep fighting. Indeed he will as they come down to the stripe once again. 8 laps in out of 100 already. And it's going to be Cameron Perez who leads that one. And it's going to be Davis Lewis who's going to have to pick up the scraps and pick up the next lap. So far, Perez right there with the driver of the number 99 machine of Vinny Tigner as well. Jonathan Byram, one of those debutants we mentioned, a newcomer into this league, running in the top 10, nice and smooth. And right now, he's right behind Sam Benson. And with Benson right there, it's going to be between these two drivers to make it to the 10th lap. That time by Cameron Perez has the clear advantage of the inside line, but this is going to mean that Sam Benson is going to get pushed by Byram. And now it's going to double file with a new set of drivers. Great block there by Cameron Perez to keep himself in the game. Davis Lewis is going to be down to the inside line, and Sam Benson's still going to be there in third. So the podium is going to stay the same, just a bit of a shuffle. Cameron Perez seems to be able to go wherever he wants. It does not seem like there's any stopping the man of that number 12 machine. The 24 in a similar position. They all have just enough power in them to keep it moving like it's nothing. Versatility, it is important, as now it's going to be Cameron Perez 3 wide for a moment. Sam Benson has the edge this time through, with Perez having to go to the inside line. Davis Lewis there in fourth as well. Nice and smooth run for him. Nothing so far that's gone too out of hand, nothing too extreme just yet, and he's just going to have to wait until it all gets to the conclusion of it because right now it's going to be waiting until the tail end for a driver like the 16. And knowing that this race is going to be, of course, far from over already, you just have to make your moves when it's time, and making that at the optimal time. Well, Cameron Perez is able to do so and lead him down to the 12th lap of 100. No incident just yet, and that's one of the things about Atlanta. Unlike Daytona, less room to move, and with that less room for movement, the wiggle room, it is far less minimalized, and it's going to be just about what you got right beside you. That's about a half a car length at the very most, so these guys are going to be playing it a bit more careful. Going to be a bit harder to pass, as Nicholas Pressey now going to try to do battle there with Vinny Tigner and Michael Deitch. Deitch going to be right up there in the mix, and Deitch has shown some plate racing prowess as of recent, top 3 in the FORL Cup Series event at Talladega, and he was able to get home with that 3rd position. Not much more he could have done. Lost the draft on that last segment. He was up in the top 2 by the white flag, almost led the white flag. And now, of course, he's looking to lead the checker here. It's all about that final lap, as that seems to be what these drivers are setting themselves up for. Nothing more is in mind, as Cameron Perez is going to go 3 wide there, and Davis Lewis is going to try to get by, but it's going to be Perez placing a nice quarter panel block on the driver of the number 12 machine. Sam Benson going to be right there, and you can see Vinny Tigner with Jonathan Byron. 14 laps in of a total of 100, and Nicholas Press going to be there in the mix in the number 94 machine, as now he's going to go 3 wide. Nobody's going to be in the wall, but Jordan Coops able to gain big time on him there. And how we ride on board the driver that's in the middle of the pack? How we ride on board with your post sitter in Vinny Tigner. Or rather, Jordan Coops. Tigner gets knocked down 1 spot qualifying, and Jordan Coops has been knocked down 8 spots in the race. You see right now, Tigner up in front as the 00 machine of Jordan Coops having an awful lot of trouble controlling himself here on the high side. He's got Steven Boynton right beside him, and now going to be losing more and more time. It seems like he's going to have to choose the path of staying behind the leaders right now, and because of that, well, he's just going to have to play it in the back for the remainder of this event, or at least until we get a caution. So not where he wants to be. Cameron Perez is going to be there in second as we go back up to the leaders, and the 16 of Davis Lewis has done battle with Perez for about the last 10 consecutive laps. Vinny Tigner going to be there in 3rd. Sam Benson right beside him. Michael Deitch going to be there with Jonathan Byram, and Carter Casey's in position number 7. Nicholas Press is going to be in 8th, and Bryce Saucier going to be in 8th as well for a moment, but falls down into 9th with Boynton, Stephen Boynton that is, going to be in that 10th spot. The entirety of the field down to Cody Webster, your Daytona winner. They're only separated by a total of 2 seconds. Anyone could wreck, and everyone could wreck, and it could be Webster's game from there on out. He's just going to have to hold on with the pack until we get to that point. I don't expect for this event to be a strategy race per se, because it is New Atlanta, a super speedway type event. 1 wreck will put this race back in the hands of any driver. And right now, it still seems to be an oh-so-close battle as the number 24 gets out in front. Davis Lewis going to be there in the 16 machine. Right beside him is going to be Sam Benson, as 1 driver going to go down to the inside line. That's going to be Stephen Boynton there. Boynton having a lot of trouble, and he's going to now fall back to the rear end of the field. Looks like he still has some damage, and he loses the draft there, so I'm not sure what's going to go on. Falls back 4 seconds. We'll check by, and it looks like it's going to happen right there out of turns 1 and 2. See, he gets it a bit on the paint there, then goes back and forth, up and down, able to save it. Almost gets to Brandon Timon there, as Timon going to bring you right on your screen. And now Boynton going to be way off of the pace, way off the draft, 6 seconds back on even the driver of 91 in Cody Webster. Back out in front, it's going to be the 16 machine with Cameron Perez, 18 laps in out of 100, almost a fifth of the way through with no yellow so far. Been a nice, smooth, clean race, led off by the drivers up in front, of course, the 12, 24, 2 of which is now the 24 going to get pushed through by that number 12. Davis Lewis going to be there in 3rd, Jonathan Byram going to be in 4th, and Vinny Tigner in 5th. Rounds out your top 5, and there's going to be Jonathan Byram once again, side by side with Michael Deitch, as Nicholas Pressey holds on in position number 7. And with Nicholas Pressey now there in 7th, he's chasing down not 1 but 2 drivers to get into that top 5, as Michael Deitch goes side by side to get in the top 5. It looks like he's going to be able to make it. So for now, we'll see how long he's able to make it last. It looks like that will do for Michael Deitch for only a moment, but he's still going to be crowded in on that inside line. Inside, here's the cockpit of Michael Deitch. You can see a bit of a wiggle there as he's twitching back and forth. He's the only driver in this field on a controller in this event, so it's going to be much harder for him to control it, and he's still doing a great job so far. Certainly much more challenging. Nicholas Pressey going to fall into the field. We'll find out just what happened. Checking back 10 seconds, it looks like he just got slotted 3 wide. He got into the wall as a result and loses time, able to stick it into the wall Nobody else going to get damaged. Nice and smooth. Good job from the driver of 94 machine, as right now he fights with the Apex Action number 03 machine for Corey Rexford. 21 laps in, out of 100. Cameron Paris now has about a tenth of a second to the remainder of the field. Jonathan Byram down to the inside line with Vinny Tigner right in the mix. Michael Deitch falls back to 8th. Following his brief stay in the top 5, and now it's going to be a big wiggle there, side by side. Drivers going to be hitting each other. A lot of drivers to the wall. They're able to save it for the most part, and no caution is out because of that. It looks like Cameron Parr is able to hold on, and now they're still pushing strong. Unbelievable. We'll check back on what just happened, as that was just about a wreck waiting to happen for quite a long time. Aggression, as it looks like Cameron Parr is going to get loose, snap it back once, gets into the wall. Then it's going to be the drivers of the number 54 and Davis. Lewis getting involved. Lewis gets to the wall, and everyone having to save it in the mix. Jonathan Byram goes down there. He's going to be 4 wide for a moment. Michael Deitch going to be able to get through there. Now he's going to be in the 6th spot. As how about that? That was just about a wreck in a million different ways, and yet nobody wrecked. Now it's going to be Bryce Saucier, 3 wide for a moment there. He goes out of the inside line. Cameron Parr is going to get a bit shuffly. Now he has his teammate behind him, though. It could be a safer bet if they work together. That they will not for now. And Timon going to be able to lead the way so far with Saucier in the mix. Cameron Parr is going to be 4th. Michael Deitch now going to be in 5th, as Sam Benson holds on strong in the 6th spot. Carter Casey, position 7. Jordan Kuhn's going to be 8th in that 00. He's now going to be the 2nd pack, gaining in on the 1st here in Atlanta. And thanks to the Super Speedway competitions, of course, these guys will be able to regain time and recover efficiently. So these guys who are fighting double file, well, Michael Deitch going to be pushed down to the inside line. He's going to be able to save it barely and lose a lot of time as a result. Cameron Parr is not going to be happy there. And now it's going to be 3 drivers pulling away for the remainder of the field. And Atlanta now beginning to see some dominance from drivers we did not expect them from. Brandon Timon, who started dead last in this race, is now up the 1st. So how about that? Qualifying truly does not matter here for a Super Speedway event, as the 34 has the pace to get out front nonetheless. Just about a quarter of the way through this one, Timon going to be able to hold on. Aaron Brown going to be in that 2nd spot, and the top 3 drivers now going to be single file as Cameron Parr gains back in once more with Carter Casey in the top 5, and Michael Deitch now going to be right there with them. The 44 and the 1 do battle double file. Sam Benson now going to be able to get by as Deitch gets back into the 4th, and now it's going to be a spin. Deitch going to go around multi-car incident. That's going to be yellow number 1 on the night. After a quarter of the way, we went under green. Deitch going to be in a big-time situation, and now we would check just what happened. Instant replay on the matter. See the number, well, the number 44 machine there on your screen, and it's going to be side by side for a moment, and you can see they come down to the back straightaway without issue. Stephen Boynton going to be there in pit road. As we watch Michael Deitch, it seems like it started with the driver of that number 44. Gets a bit loose there, tries to counter steer it, gets into the paint, and it looks like it's going to be Bryce Saucier who actually gets loose as well. And Saucier going to come right into Michael Deitch, gets involved. They turn one another. Sam Benson gets hit there, and that's what brings out number yellow, well, 1. And that's going to be Michael Deitch involved. Multiple cars go down on the inside line. Josh Coloni there. Looks like I'm almost an incident there for 003. As Coloni goes through the grass. Bryce Saucier not going to be much luckier. Sam Benson gets spun as a result of the incident and the ensuing chaos. And now everyone comes out of the pit road. 27 laps in out of 100. And no fast repairs, even in the All-Star race. But work with what you got. And what you got has to be perfect, because these motors need to be at 100% to draft. And so far, Jordan Kuntz going to be in your leading position. 1 driver going to be 1 down. That's going to be Stephen Boynton getting back out on track. So he'll be back on his way here. As 1 driver going to be out on his way, it's going to be Aaron Brown, followed by the driver of Brandon Timon, then going to be Carter Casey. And then it will be the driver of the 00 in Jordan Kuntz. And Jordan going to be on his way there just a bit later to the remainder of the pack. Then it's going to be Cameron Parr with Vinny Tigner in position number 6 for a moment, but it's going to be after him, Thunder Terpstra there with Mike Campbell. Following them, it's going to be the driver of that number 91 of Cody Webster, right behind Kuntz and Josh Coloni, as Aaron Brown is your current race leader here in Atlanta, about a quarter of the way through. And it has been a great show so far. Aaron Brown at number 8 is going to be the man we try to get a word with so far, as he seems to have the pace to hold on for the remainder of the race. We'll try to get a talk with the man in position number 1. Number 8 machine, it's going to be Aaron Brown, top of the chart so far in the All-Star race. How's it been up front?
I really haven't been up front, but yeah, I mean, it's been great. I mean, these pace laps have been nice, but me and Brandon were working together, just trying to save our tires in the back and so a little bit of fuel because no fast repair. I have a yellow coming up at lap 25. Just no point of trying to push and risk getting our race done. But we decided to go up with it anyways, especially after the near wreck with on lap 20. Decided to go for it, and yeah, they all just kind of wrecked themselves, but saved it, and then it was just us. It just me and Brennan and I think it was Sam or was it Carter? I don't know who was behind us, but timed the run perfectly, and I was able to get by Brendan for the stage win as soon as they wrecked at the line. So, yeah.
And that stage win going to come in handy for you here, with the remainder of the race going to be on its way here and now. 1 lap to green. Any final thoughts?
Probably going to do the same strategy, hopefully, but we'll see how it goes. It might be close on the one stop because I think I was able to go at least 40 laps right there. So it's gonna be a little tight. It's gonna be a little tight.
And there we have it. Strategy might come into play here at Atlanta as we get things going once again in the All-Star race. Thank you for your time, Aaron Brown.
No problem.
There we go. Brown going to be back on his way. That number 8 machine currently second on the board, up into first. Your stage 1 winner and the one and only, as we have the remainder of the race ahead of us, and that should be a clean green show. As the first 20 laps were any indicator of what we have in store, it's going to be a great one. We are ready to go once again under green here in Atlanta. Aaron Brown, Brandon Timon, here we go again as we get it started here in Hampton. Let's get it on our way. The pace car going to be able to dive in. That iRacing official pace truck on the way. Restart number 1 in the All-Star race is going to be following the end of stage 1. Welcome to stage 2, and here we go again. And that time by Aaron Brown, able to make a nice start of it. He's going to be right there with the driver number 34 machine of Brandon Timon. So far, Timon has the edge. Jordan Coots right there in the mix. And it's going to be Cameron Parrish shoving him 3 for just a moment there. And it's certainly going to be Jordan Coots trying to keep himself ahead of that 24. And so far, that he does. It's evident that the number 24 machine of Cameron Parrish does have a bit of rear end damage. Watch along with Carter Casey here. And we'll take a look on the hood camera. And you can see that he has a bit of an issue on that rear wing. And you can see it's a bit chipped in on that left side, a bit of a scuff there right beside the Chevrolet marking. As Carter Casey, we look right behind him, and he will not have such a mark. It's going to be just a bit of a scrape, as it looks like the 24 machine still able to reform regardless of his damage. And now it's going to be a bit of a move to the high side for the number 24 in Cameron, and Carter Casey right there with him. And Carter in the number 1 machine has had a great run so far, 30 laps in out of 100, and he goes right up there with Cameron Perez. Josh Coloni in the mix in that top 5, as well as Brandon Timon keeps himself in trying times, as it's now going to double file between the top 6. Only one driver going to be far off the pace. That's Corey Rexford. You can see front and destroy Michael Deitch still going to be able to just hold on with the leaders, but still it's just about 15-20 almost cars still in their best chance, as 3 wide there with Sam Benson, Davis Lewis, and the driver of the 00 in Jordan Coots. Coots going to fall back, be the big loser of that battle, as they're going to be big time going to the apron there. 2 drivers, it's going to be Josh Coloni and Aaron Brown, as Cameron Perez is the new race leader. 32 laps in out of 100. It's going to get a bit squirrely again, and Carter Casey now has the opportunity to come in and pounce on what he saw. He's going to go for the taking there, and 32 laps in, new race leader, number 1 machine of Carter Casey indeed. And double file once again, the number 1 machine holds on with the number 22, and with Carter Casey out in front, it's going to be all down to what he's got in store for the remainder of this event. Leading up in front with fairly early into the race is very nice, of course. There's still a lot of time for strategy to play out, and a lot of time for things to go wrong. So you have to think about your backup plans from here on out. If you lose the lead early, what happens? If you lose the lead a little later, what will you do to get back out front? And that's absolutely what a driver like the number 1 machine has to do, because there's so much time left in this race. You can't be stuck in the now in some cases. You got to think ahead, especially in a plate race in the third of this race. The first third is just about done and done. The 1 machine leads us to its conclusion, and the remainder of the race still far ahead of us. So it now comes down to how the number 1 machine plays it out, as Davis Lewis holds on with Josh Coloni there. Cameron Perez is going to be on the move, and Jonathan Byram going to be in the 16, 5th on the charts. And then Sam Benson going to be in position number 5 side by side now. This is going to be the debutant, holding on strong with the veterans of this league. Carter Casey, though, holds on to himself in, of course, the top spot in the championship hunt, if this was a championship hunt. It's the All-Star race hunt, however, and now he's position number 1 in that chase. Cameron Perez holds on strong right behind him. Sam Benson in the mix as well, and the Benson machine in that number 12 decides that he does not have enough. He's got some front end damage, but he's still going to be fighting on hard as you look on the rear end of Cameron Perez here. He's going to be a bit louder, but look at this. He's got a lot of front end damage. Sam Benson does. Right on board with the number 24 machine, it is Sam Benson, the focus, as he has an awful lot of yellow flag damage, and it was all that incident beforehand that caused it, as 36 laps in out of 100. This is all about ticking down laps. Davis Lewis going to be there in the mix. Bryce Saucier there as well, as Jonathan Byram holds on in 7th. Josh Coloni 8th, Barrett Flo 9th, and Brandon Timon position number. And Aaron Brown getting running outside the top 10, a bit of smoke up front, nothing's going to come of it. And that could have been right, but that it was not. Thankfully, everyone's going to be able to keep it nice and smooth. But Carter Casey gets the edge once again. Cameron Perez defending like a lion here, and he will just keep fighting till the race is over. And it seems like nothing's going to be able to stop him, as the number 24 keeps himself intact on the high side. Nicholas Pressey there, able to make a nice and smooth merge. Nothing going to come of it. No damage, no wreck, nothing. And now these guys going to be able to barrel down the back. Once again, 37 in, out of 100, and you can see that Cameron Perez has that outside line just a bit stalled out. Sam Benson, though, going to go around there, and that's going to bring out yellow number 2, big wreck. Nicholas Pressey in the fence, and that will be caution. Number 2 motors are blown, 2 nights, immediately over, and that's just the start. Let's take an instant replay on the matter here and see what happened. Sam Benson, 2nd on the board going into this incident. You can see this about 30 seconds back, so a bit earlier, and they're already barreling down by this point. Back straight away, it's not going to be all too much of an issue just yet. We'll find out what happens. Benson getting right there, he gets on the paint, and that's going to be his problem. He just gets a bit loose, goes up the track, and gets right in to Davis Lewis. Now, Nicholas Pressey loses a lot of time and gets a lot of damage, gets into the fence all the way there. It's actually going to be Bryce Saucier, his teammate. As you can see, the number 12 machine blowing a motor, as well as the driver of that number 54 in Jonathan Byram. And I think Pressey's night going to be done as well, as Nicholas going to grind to a halt, or rather Bryce Saucier grinds to a halt, and he's going to be upside down. Nobody going to be able to save him there, and that will be it. Hunter Terpstra going to pass him, but it looks like there is a hopeless cost on the racetrack, as the number 33 machine on the circuit, but the 07 machine going to get a lot of damage. Barrett Flo has retired, and now we are whittling down our drivers. Stephen Boynton going to be outside on the circuit as Cameron Perez leads the drivers in, and now going to lead them out as Perez leads the drivers off pit road. Carter Casey there in 2nd, and Ben's going to be Nicholas Pressey, 4th on the charts. Jordan Kuntz now going to be able to get on his way as drivers take their 2nd pit stop of the night. 39 laps in, 2 cautions. Now things are ramping up here in Atlanta. Only about 16 drivers on the lead lap now. Time is of the essence, and drivers are beginning to file out of this event. Boynton going to be top of the board here, not going to be available for comment. However, it is going to be Cameron Perez right behind him, who should be available for comment. So we try to get a word from the driver in that number 24 machine and drag him in as we speak. Cameron Perez is going to be 2nd on the chart so far. How's it been in the All-Star race so far for you?
Hey, it's going good, David. I mean, we're having a lot of fun on the track here. I mean, I gotten sideways a couple times on the front row leading here and saved it. It's been a lot of fun.
And it certainly seems to be an action-packed race for the driver's perspective. A few big incidents and a few near misses. Apologies there. So what's it going to take for you to come out on top, as just about more than half of this race still remains in Atlanta?
I think we got to keep doing what we've been doing. We've been riding up front all race. Just a lot of guys have been working with us here. A lot of good guys pushing, and I've been getting a lot of runs. I think I know what I got to do to get this win here, so we'll just do what we got to do.
And time to execute on the plan. Cameron Perez, high side of the circuit. So any final thoughts?
Just gotta not wreck. Avoid the wrecks. Stay out front.
And there we have it. Cameron Perez hoping to stay up front 40 laps into the All-Star race. Thank you for your time.
Hell yeah.
And there we have it. Perez going to be back on his way. The iRacing official pace truck leads the field for one more half lap, and then we get back on our way. The driver, the number 24, right beside the newcomer, Stephen Boynton, as we get things back in the move. Almost halfway into this event so far, and more than halfway still remains. We will see how long these guys are able to hold on, as 30 minutes have passed in this event so far, and there's still going to be more than that to come. The action is far from over, so stay tuned as we will get the show back on its way in just a lap's time. As a pace truck coming in this time through restart 3 on the night after 2 major wrecks, so it's going to be all about how these guys played out from here. Big time on the line. The bragging right's going to be crucial as the third restart of the night going to get underway here in Atlanta. Let's go racing once again in Hampton, Georgia. Major start there for Cameron Paris on the number 24 machine. You can see goes out of the apron and gets himself back on the track since he almost slowed down on purpose. And that's how big of a run he had. But now it looks like that momentum going to transfer right there to Nicholas Cressy. That's what happens in the crowd sometimes. If you get out in front, you'll be able to transfer that momentum to the guys behind you, and you will be swallowed up by the pack like it's nothing. So right now, Nicholas Cressy, knowing that is the case, he's able to take that by storm and get himself back out in front. It's going to be the number 94 machine holding on strong as we continue the remainder of this show. Cameron Paris right there with Aaron Brown. Brandon Timon going to be in the mix. And then number 34, Brandon Timon going to be able to keep himself nice and steady on the inside line with Carter Casey right there with them side by side. The number 1 and the number 34 going to be able to hold on as it's going to be Vinny Tigner in the 99 with Jordan Kuntz in a down segment of the top 10. They're going to be falling further down on the field. But right now they're still in the top 10. They're losing just a bit more time on drivers like Paris, drivers like Cressy. And it looks like right now it's going to be only a total of about 14 cars on the circuit. And it's going to leave these guys out on the track, including the driver Corey Rexford, who is the 19th and final driver on this track. Go and do battle until the sun goes down, or if it goes down in Atlanta. It still will be all about how these guys go throughout the end of the night. At 43 going to come 44 laps in this event. And double file once again, the top 6 guys nice and smooth. Davis Lewis now going to be able to lose a bit more time as 6 drivers are out in front. He's going to be able to barely tag along with those guys, and then Davis Lewis is just back down there by about 1 second behind the leader, and that 1 second is going to be a big deal. That is about the drafting range. If you can't stay in that top 10, of course, if you can't stay in that top 1 second range as well, you will be down and out of the leader's draft. And right now, these guys up front running 32.6s. That is not going to be the quickest lap on the track. As a matter of fact, they're running 31.6s. But still, guys like Mike Campbell running about a second a lap faster, so they're going to be able to regroup and quick. As the number 16 of Davis Lewis leads a big pack down to the outside of the circuit. Now it's going to be the driver of the number 10 machine leading them all by Davis Lewis, as the leader is losing time and the second pack is gaining like it is nothing. 45 laps going to become 46 here in Atlanta, and it's going to become 2 backs merged once again with Carter Casey there alongside Nicholas Preston. Vinny Tigner going to be 4th on the board with Aaron Brown there in 5th. It's going to be Brandon Timon, as a matter of fact, in position number 6 still. And then Jordan Kuntz in 7th, as now it's going to be a big single file train, save for Michael Deitch all the way in the back of the field here. So with these guys in that lead lap all out in front running together, it's only a matter of time before things get aggressive once again. As they all regroup now, it's going to be all about reorganization thereafter. It's going to be the guys who think they're the fastest getting up front, the guys who save themselves for the later of the race. Aim to the back for now, as it seems like strategies are going to diverge and divulge here and now. 2 drivers going to go up high. That's going to be Cameron Paris right there with Nicholas Cressy. They still seem to be just about as fast as drivers on the inside line. So Paris is able to use that outside effectively to keep himself in winning contention. And then it's going to be Nicholas Cressy right there with him. Vinny Tigner going to be right there in 4th now. Top 4 going to be able to pull away and settle the score amongst themselves before anyone gets involved with their chaos. It's going to be right behind a sea of inside line running drivers. 48 in out of 100. And I tell you what, now with Paris having a bit of pressure from Cressy, it might be time for Cameron Paris to try to move into the inside line and hang out Carter Casey. And that he will do. 24 machine going to go down to the inside line now and leave another one out to dry. As long as he's not going to be able to get himself back on that inside line as Cameron Perez goes up high once again, and now Josh Coloni going to go there as a turn of fate. It's going to be now Cameron Perez getting slotted out, but getting slotted in and right behind the new race leader in Nicholas Pressey. Mike Campbell going to be there in the mix as well. Brandon Timon going to be the 6th spot. And now it's going to be about top 10 drivers, all single file, and out of the driver from lead lap, all 12 of which are now in one pack. Michael Deitch losing still a bit of time there in 13th. So it's going to be every driver besides Deitch who is still in winning contention in one line as we get about to the halfway point next time through. Cross flags will wave, and we wait to see who's going to be able to get it done out in front. Aaron Brown holds on in 5th, but it's still going to be the top 2 guys in Nicholas Pressey and Cameron Perez, single file and strong, as it's going to be position number 1 held by that number 94 and the 24 in 2nd. Themselves intact. Carter Casey there in 3rd. Vinny Tigner going to be in 4th. Aaron Brown in 5th, and Brandon Simon in 6th, as they all keep themselves nice and smooth. Cross flags this time by. Now it's going to be a total of 50 laps to go here in Atlanta. And there you have it. First half of the race out of the way. Now it's going to be all about execution in the second. Time is of the essence as drivers are beginning to run laps a bit slower than their absolute best. Last time by for Nicholas Pressey, he ran at 31.823. His best lap, a 30.668. So these drivers in one single file train, not cutting through the air as fast as they did beforehand. That just shows the inside line is not always the fastest. Right now, it could be tire, it could be the aggression, but they all seem to be conserving just a bit to get to the end, as tires are going to be a big part, but also fuel might come down to the wire if these guys don't save it. 49 laps to go. It is a possibility they'll be able to make it all the way, and right now they're running about 2 seconds off the pace, so that could be their end goal out in front, as every driver getting themselves set up for the remainder of the action. Michael Deitch going to be still in that 13th spot, 22 seconds down, as it's going to be Corey Rexford able to catch him and not pass him just yet. But the 03 machine now seems to have a bit more pace, and Michael Deitch might have an engine in dismay. And we'll ride aboard with the number 44 machine and see what's going on there, because Deitch is certainly losing more and more time, just not able to produce enough power. And that means that the engine is not being destroyed just yet, but it does also mean that it is not good enough to keep up with the leaders without crucial and substantial damage repair that we will not see out of the driver to number 44 until a later time. And that later time not going to be anywhere near now the way these guys are driving up front. Nice, smooth, calculated. It's going to be in position number 1. Nicholas Pressey being pushed hard by Cameron Perez. 47 laps to distance. And with all this time these guys are choosing to burn so far, it's going to be all about whether or not they choose to burn it effectively. Right now, I do believe they are going to be burning it effectively because tires seem to be the name of the game. One driver going to go side by side there. That's Davis Lewis trying to make it happen there in the 11th spot that he does on Hunter Terpstra. But if these guys are going to be all worried about their fuel cycle, well, this is the perfect pace to be going at. 2 seconds a lap slower. It doesn't sound like all too much, but in about 15 laps time, you make up about a lap on yourself when it comes to the fuel that you use. So saving about 1 or 2 laps of fuel doesn't sound like all too much, but when you're on the wire there, saving gallons, even down to the liter, even down to the ounce, means so much more than you can imagine, and so much more than even I can imagine. As an iRacer myself, fuel mileage is a very, very tricky practice. iRacing's introduced a new auto fuel technology to make sure the drivers can automatically calculate their fuel mileage down to the most precise measurements and get the most accurate pit stops when necessary. Cameron Perez is going to go down to the inside line for a moment, sweep right back up, and now Nicholas Pressey going to hold on at number 94, passing by 2 lap cars at once. It's going to be Rexford and Deitch. So now it's going to be 12 drivers in competition for the race lead, and they're all separated by only 0.2 of a second, now 0.20 of a second, as Rexford now going to try to sweep in and slot in. That he will not do. It's going to be Hunter Terpstra, last driver on the lead lap in 12th, and Pressey holding on in first. 45 laps to go, and single file has been the name of the game for quite a while now. Michael Deitch losing time on Rexford. The battle here, it's not going to be for position, but they are still going quite strong. And the 44 holds on with the apex action, 0-3 right there with them. So these guys are going to be able to keep battling as they are not worrying at all about the fuel conservation. They're going to actually be waiting for a caution, if anything. And Deitch, who does not have as much visible damage, certainly has a bit more mechanical damage because he's only able to keep up with the driver of the 03 machine whenever he is in that tow. So keep an eye out for this battle as it rages on. And we go back out front. Now it's going to be a bit of double file in the back of the back. Davis, Lewis there behind Terpstra. And now Lewis going to have that edge on Terpstra for only a moment. And Terpstra tries to clear him. That he will not be able to do just yet, and it will be the execution at a later date. The driver of the number 27 machine goes up high. Nobody else is going to be there with him, but still a bit quicker. Now Terpstra trying to make moves on more and more drivers. Cody Webster first going to be passed. Then it's going to be the driver of the 10 machine and Mike Campbell there. So now it looks like Terpstra making something happen with Davis Lewis on the outside line, beginning to formulate once again with 42 laps to go. The entirety of the lead lap pack is in frame there. And Cameron Perez is going to pass yet another. That's going to be Nicholas Pressey. Outside line works for a short-term gain, long-term loss. And now it's going to be 94 falling down. Once more, and you can see 3 drivers on the outside line, the most we've seen in about 5-10 laps here in Atlanta. At 59 laps in out of 60, and these guys are going to have to begin thinking quick and thinking even more about the calculations as drivers are being able to pull aggressive moves. Once again, it could be a bit of a more sign of liberation when it comes to that tire limit or the fuel limit or what have you. And these guys could be saying maybe we'll be able to go good to go from here on out. Let's go racing once again. And right now, Cameron Perez is having none of it. He wants to stay out in front as long as he can, leading the most laps. That seems to be his goal. And of course, leading the last lap is the goal for every driver in this field. But right now, we're all striving to do just that as we have 41 laps to go here on the board, and the number 24 machine holds on with Carter Casey right there in tow. Nicholas Pressey going to be in position number 3, and Aaron Brown in a 5th spot right now, right behind him as it's side by side for 3rd. Nicholas Pressey using side draft to keep himself right in the mix. Let's ride on board with the driver of the number 8 machine to see the battle. This is the rear end view, but this will show you the front end view that you have been waiting to see. Watching the battle in depth from Aaron Brown's number 8 hood. And right now, side drafting is the way to go for Nicholas Pressey. He's getting right in there on Vinny Tigner. And as they come down the start-finish line, the fans are in the stands and they are on their feet. Hitting Pressey, the only man holding out of the outside line. Nobody's helping him right now. Nobody's going to be there with him, but he still seems to be as fast, if not maybe a bit quicker than the drivers he's next to. The only problem for him right now, he has no help, no support. There's nothing more he can do but wait until the end of it. And it's going to be all about whether or not he gets that support. Riding on board the rear end of the number 94 machine, you can see nothing besides clean road behind him. And he's still going to be able to hold on side by side with Vinny Tigner and keep himself just about clear of Aaron Brown. Although it's been a lap or two. We'll see how long that lasts. And now he gets a big run that time by. And he's going to be able to almost clear Vinny Tigner that time through. That's going to be a very impressive run for the driver with absolutely no help besides the side force on is number 94 Ford F-150. Pressey putting on a run to remember so far as he's now going to shoot to the high side and get to the lead immediately. Cameron Perez having none of it, and now he has none of that lead. The new leader, number 94 machine of Nicholas Pressey, out in front of the remainder of the field. And Perez now going to shoot to the high side for only a moment to fake it down low. One driver going to go 3 wide, once again 2 wide as a matter of fact. That's Davis Lewis going there into 7th. Brandon Timon in 6th. Aaron Brown, position number 5. Vinny Tigner going to be a hold on as well. And the number 99 machine of Vinny Tigner keeping himself nice and smooth. Carter Casey there in 3rd. And Cameron Perez holds on in 2nd. Top driver is still Nicholas Pressey in that top spot indeed. That's 36 laps to go for the driver who leads the board. Josh Coloni goes side by side. That's going to be for 9th. Will it work? It looks like it does. He's able to slide in right in front of Jordan Kuntz, but goes high once again. Not going to be able to sustain it if the number 00 machine is able to get to him, and that he is not. So the 33 gets that risk and gets the reward. Nice, smooth. The Josh Coloni machine is out there in almost the front of the pack. He's still 9th. There are now only a total of 12 drivers fighting for the victory with 36 laps to go. Vinny Tigner, one of which right there in 4th. Nicholas Pressey able to keep it nice and smooth with 36 laps remaining. And now Cameron Perez is about a 10th of a second back as pit stops are being made. Jordan Kuntz going to come in right there with Cody Webster. So pit strategy on its way for one last time as Webster comes in with Jordan Kuntz. Mike Campbell going to be there as well, as it looks like he's just going to be losing an awful lot of time. Will he come in this time by? That he does not. He might have missed his pit stall last time through, and that he might have. Let's take a quick look and see what happened. And Mike Campbell we see going very slow, and that he does. He misses it big time and then just has to opt to get back on the track. So Campbell coming in this time by as as Nicholas Pressey going to be able to cycle right out in front of Cody Webster. The pit cycle going to be just about 50 seconds. Josh Coloni going to spend a minute on pit road, and now right there on his way. He spent a minute last time we went to pit road under yellow, so he's going to have to get a much better stop next time by Mike Campbell. Now, coming into pit road this time by, he's going to be about in the 10th position. 34 laps to go. Misses his stall. Not going to be the best entry for him. Misses it the first time. And the second time, not much better luck. And now he's not going to be able to fare well for the remainder of this battle. As still, it is going to be held off by Cody Webster with 1 lap down and right behind your leaders. As the drivers, 29 laps into their stint, will have to consider when they come in to finish the job here in Atlanta. They'll have to come in sooner than later. And it could be this time by. Drivers have not chosen to go to a different line just yet, and it still seems that it's going to be one going up way high. That's going to be Cameron Perez. And now Carter Casey right there in third, and here we go. For no one just yet, everyone going to be able to stay on the racing service, and no driver comes into pit road. That time by, Pressey getting right there with Cameron Perez on his rear bumper. 31.8 flat for both top two drivers. And they were dead even across the board every second of that lap, down to a 10th of a second, down to 1,000. 32 remains here in Atlanta. The top driver of the board who has gotten a pit stop in, it's going to be Cody Webster. Mike Campbell going to be there as well, and still going to be Webster in his A game as the number 91 machine in the 10th spot, waiting for these drivers to cycle out once again. And even though he does not have a pack, he's only running about a second slower here. So not bad at all. Corey Rexford going to be down there on pit road. Could be done and done for him, as Nicholas Pressey still on the move with Cameron Perez and 31 laps to go. Pitting might happen now, as it looks like the next driver they're going to catch up to will be Jordan Kuntz. Only 12 drivers on the track now, and only 9 of which going to be on the lead lap. It's going to be Jordan Kuntz holding on strong. Mike Campbell going to be right there, 1 lap down, and Cody Webster 1 lap down. So Jordan Kuntz not going to be able to play a great strategy game. Not going to happen this time by. He's 2 down. The best he can get out of it is going to be 1 more lap up on the field. So he's getting 1 lap down in total, as Nicholas Pressey with 30 laps remaining yet to go in, and the remainder of the pack has yet to go in as well. Big Rex is going to be Davis Lewis around, and this will bring out the caution with 30 laps to go. Davis Lewis is going to go right around there on the front straightaway, down to the back straightaway, and this brings out yellow number 4. Let's take a quick look at what just happened here. And you could see these guys were all in tow with one another coming into the backstretch, but certainly this is not where it happened. As we take a closer look, following the cursory examination we saw beforehand, we'll find out why Davis Lewis got into the wreck. And it looks like Aaron Brown gets tapped there, and Brown gonna shuffle it up the track, get into Davis Lewis, and then Lewis goes down and around, and that brings out your yellow with now 29 remaining, and no driver gonna get major damage, if any. Just a lot of tire smoke, and everyone will get another opportunity to get up to the front of the pack. 29 remaining, and Nicholas Pressey is the man at the top of the board. So how about that? As Cameron Perez is in second and Carter Casey is in third. These guys up front will have to come down pit road sometime soon, and that time is now. Here we go. Nicholas Pressey going to lead the remainder of the field in, as Cameron Perez are right there with Carter Casey. These guys are on the move, and now they come into pit road in tandem. The race off pit road for one final time. This one's absolutely going to be for all the marbles. Vinny Tigner going to be right there with them. Aaron Brown going to come into the pit stall immediately. And now Nicholas Pressey on his way. Vinny Tigner there. Jordan Kuntz going to be coming out onto the circuit. He's getting his laps back right now. So as he passes that start-finish line, you'll see the pit road exit camera. And we'll see who comes out first. Davis Lewis going to be on his way. And it looks like into his stall. It's going to be the driver of the number 99 machine out in front in a frame. And coming off of pit road, it will be, it appears, Nicholas Pressey in that top spot. Then it's going to be Carter Casey. Then it's going to be Brandon Timon with Vinny Tigner. Then Cameron Perez. And right behind him, it's going to be the driver, it appears, of the number 27 in Hunter Terpstra. Davis Lewis there in 8th. And Aaron Brown will be behind him in 9th. Pressey, top of the board. Carter Casey there in 2nd. And how about we talk to the driver who qualified last here tonight in Atlanta, having a great race so far, has had a lot of time up in front. Brandon Timon, you're going to be up there in the 5th spot right now, qualified dead last. Of course, didn't put a lap in, so how's it been up and down all night long?
Oh, the race has been really good so far. Me and Aaron, we're trying to strategize a little bit, but unfortunately, he made that little stupid mistake, and fortunately, he regrets it. But I'm really happy to be here. I'm gonna have some fun. Hopefully, unfortunately, I just got a speeding penalty, So I'm dropping back, but I'm gonna work my way up to the front and hopefully trying to get this 34 Ford F-150 to the win.
And always looking for the victory, especially here in the All-Star race. It's anyone's game so far here at the reconfigured Atlanta. So 1 lap to green this time by, it appears. What's it going to take to come out on top?
Well, I don't know. I think I got to still play by this. I got to save my tires a little bit. I mean, we still have 27 laps to go. So tires are definitely gonna be a big playthrough. Fuel is all good. I don't have to save, but definitely tires. It's gonna be a little bit stressful, but I'm thinking to get it done.
And certainly 1 lap to green this time by. So any final thoughts?
Nope. I'm just gonna have some fun and hopefully get it done tonight.
There we have it, Brandon. Time going to be top of the board for a while. They're now down in 7th. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
There we go. Time going to be on his ways. It looks like this will, in fact, be 1 lap to green before we get right back at it with 27 remaining. Going to become 26 as we get back to the green. Nicholas Pressey leads these drivers in, and he has been on a tear so far. The 94 machine, we saw him on that high side using that momentum, and he was able to get up to the lead by his lonesome. And now with the pack behind him, it's going to be all about execution for the driver of the number 1 machine. Carter Casey right there with him on the high side. Then it's going to be the old dominators of Vinny Tigner and Cameron Perez as we get back to it once again. Let's go racing once more from Hampton. The iRacing official pace car going to drop in, and the racing going to be able to get back on its way. Restart number 5 of the night here. Let's go. Once again, led by the driver of number 94 in Nicholas Pressey. And a massive start for the driver of the number 94 machine there. Vinny Tigner going to be in tow. Carter Casey there as well. And right now they're going to be single file for the most part, except for the back of the back. And they are shoveling, already shuffling as a matter of fact. And they are digging deep like it is a shovel. As now it's going to be Jordan Coos out of the inside of Josh Coloni on the turn start there as well. As Cody Webster's going to be able to keep himself in the mix in the red, white, and blue jockey number 91. Jostling for position here as it seems like the outside line only going to be used in that mid-pack right now. Not going to be used as well as we saw Nicholas Pressey use it. That's the reason the 94 is out in front. Ingenuity when it comes to the strategy, and he's going to be able to keep himself out in front as a result of every single advancement he's made, not just in his position, but in his use of his F-150. It seems like nobody seems to be better than him so far, and that is what it seems indeed, but it's going to be all about somebody upsetting these guys. It could happen, it could not. It's going to all come down to what these guys and gals have in store. It's going to be a field of all guys definitely tonight. It seems like double file. Pressey now going to be with Cody Webster. And as we said, the outside line only being used by the midfielders. We're going to be wrong for that one. As it seems now that the 91 machine is going to be able to claw his way back in front. Daytona winner Nicholas Pressey was not, but Cody Webster was. And now he's going to be able to battle once again for a super speedway victory, this time in the All-Star Exhibition. And you know, every driver wants this. This is the classification of the best, the All-Stars. And Jordan Woods, one of which was locked in, of course, the top setter in the championship standings. Cody Webster locked in as well. So these drivers who were called in by, of course, the way the point standings ran, they know that they are here for a good reason, some of the best in the business. And now Webster going to be able to send it up high. Josh Coloni there in the mix. And 23 laps to go, become 22 this time by. And you know what that means at TrackCam22.com. 22 laps to go, crank it up. Presented, of course, by Track Cams for Gormans, the best cameras on the iRacing service. We hope you enjoy this presentation, and we'll be right back as the best cameras on iRacing do their work uninterrupted. take a look at a brand new chase camera. Everyone's chasing down Cody Webster in that number 91 machine, are up and close and personal drone camera that we are able to develop in-house in Fireball Talks NASCAR. So this is the one and only that is developed by us. Nobody else has it just like ours is, and you can see big time pressure from the driver of the number 1 machine in Carter Casey coming right there in the driver of the number 91 in Cody Webster. Cameron Perez going to be right there in the mix as well. In that third spot, Josh Coloni coming in hot in the same vein, and now Nicholas Pressey right there with him as he send it back to the traditional TV cameras. Cody Webster holds on strong. 16 laps to go here in Atlanta. Josh Coloni going to be able to get it down to the inside line, and he goes down, not around, as he's gotten something going there on that inside. And it's now going to be 15 remaining as they come to the stripe this time through. Nice and smooth this race has been so far, as it appears it's going to be double file racing once again. Back to the line, 91 jockeying for position. It's going to be the one in that 91. Cody Webster to the point over Josh Coloni now with 15 remaining. Aggression going to be at an all-time high, as Nicholas Press going to lose a lot of time and momentum. He's going to be able to save it though and keep himself in contention, although that was absolutely a close call and not what he wanted to see. He's able to save it and keep himself going like it's nothing. Carter Casey holding on in second. Cameron Perez going to be there in third, as Josh Coloni now going to have a bit of pressure on the outside line. And now Carter Casey goes to the lead with Cody Webster right behind him. Cameron Perez going to be right there on the inside line and going to be able to push the one to the lead. And advantageous the inside line is, as now Cody Webster going to be a bit disheveled following that incident and losing more and more momentum. It just seems like it can't go his way so far. 14 laps to go here in Atlanta, and the All-Star race is going to come down to the All-Star drivers. Those have stood the test of time. 11 drivers remain on track and 10 on that lead lap, and they're now only separated by about a second flat, if not just a bit more than that. Nicholas Press is going to be right there 3/10 back, but the remainder of the pack is within 1 flat second. Press is going to see the 3 wide right behind him. It's going to be Webster going 3 once again. Shades of Daytona and his victory there. And now going to be able to keep it nice and smooth. Mike Campbell in the mix in that 6th spot. Keeps it going. Fly right by. Cameron Perez holds on strong. Nice and steady. The driver to that number 24 machine in the mix. With 13 laps to go, becoming a solid dozen this time by. You can watch him go. And here you have it. It's going to be Perez with Carter Casey, Cody Webster in the mix, and then Josh Coloni alongside Vinny Signer for that 5th. And Nicholas Pressey right there with Mike Campbell. Aaron Brown going to be 8th. Brandon Timon going to be in 9th now. In the top 10, rounded out by Hunter Terpstra. As double file out in front, Cameron Perez giving a major shove to the man who currently leads the race in Carter Casey. Nobody else going to be the way that number 1 machine has been, as position number 1 for driver in that number 1 truck. Now, with 11 laps remaining, it could be the magic number for the driver of the number 1, as he leads very little time to spare in this event. Side by side, they are remaining beside the number 1 machine. It seems like Cameron Perez is going to be double file with Josh Coloni for a moment, and Coloni now with Cody Webster. Webster is the flag bearer for the USA in this event, and of course for the outside line, big shuffle. Carter Casey able to save it, and now Webster goes to the point as we speak of him, and the 91 going to be able to go back to the top of the board. 10 laps to go here in Atlanta. The All-Star race coming down to its final segment, and this is going to be definite from here on out. 10 laps to go. It's all or nothing. If you got anything left, you're going to have to give it to these drivers, give it to the track, and give it all for yourself, as victory is on the line here. And it could be all the bragging rights this series has to offer. Webster there. It's going to be Nicholas Pressey in the next. They go side by side. Not going to be able to make it 3 wide. And now it's going to be all about the fight from here. Josh Coloni in the mix. And they go barreling through once again. 10 becoming 9 laps to go here in Atlanta. And Hampton, Georgia being given a treat tonight. The fans and the virtual stands on their feet. And this is the reason Nicholas Pressey gets back to the top of the board. And now it's going to be Cody Webster with a disadvantageous position on the outside. It could be a bit of a shove that he gets this time through. Cameron Perez and Carter Casey working oh so well together. It's not going to get him out front this time by Pressey, the king of the air so far, holds on, but Webster got one to back down, and that he won't. 8 laps to do it. And now it's going to be 91 out front. And Number 91 back out in front. It seems like Cody Webster can do no wrong so far. He's going to slide up the track, and he will do wrong. They're going to door bang, able to save it. Cameron Paris saves it. Unbelievable. Almost a wreck, and it looks like it will not be. That was just about everyone going spinning. Cameron Paris does spin it, and that brings out the yellow. So that could have been much worse, but it still brings out what could be your last caution of the night. And we'll try to take a quick look here using our new rear chase technology and taking a brief look at the incident at hand. Cameron Paris right there in frame, and it's going to be Carter Casey who slams into him. Then it's going to be almost getting to Josh Coloni, able to save it, drifting it down and around, and then misses Terpstra, but gets it back on the back straight with 7 laps to go. A reset on the field, a safety yellow in the case that got any worse. So Cameron Paris able to get a big break there. Currently going to be on his way in the number 24 machine as the number 24 Chevy Silverado gets back up to the field. It will be the man out in front, Nicholas Pressey, here and now with 7 laps remaining. Let's see if we can get the comment from the driver to the number 94 machine. Currently, it appears he is unavailable for comment, and we will find out whether or not that is still the case. So far, it appears that it is. However, get a word for the man in that number 4 spot. Now, Hunter Terpstra able to avoid the chaos, avoid the wreck, and now Terpstra, number 27 machine, in 4th. What's it going to take to win? As it will be a short dash to get it done in the All-Star race. And to get a copy, once again, Hunter Terpstra, number 27 machine, 4th on the board. How's it been?
Hello.
Welcome to the broadcast booth. Been an up and down race, able to avoid that most recent wreck. Now in a great shot for the victory. What's it going to do for you to execute on that plan?
I just figured staying out here was the only chance I really had. My car's been pretty good working with Aaron and Brennan here. I really don't know. I haven't raced this track very much, so I don't know how much tires are going to matter, so I guess we'll have to see. It'll be fun, I'll tell you that.
And certainly looking forward to an exciting race here. Every driver been on their feet all race long, and it looks like it will be just shy of a green-white checkered, so still a very short distance. When we get to that white flag, it's done and done. So how aggressive are you going to be as we get to the final stretch?
Points don't matter, and really I'm not here too often, so I'm just going for it. So hurt feelings, we'll see.
And it looks like aggression is going to be what matters here. 22-lap-old tires. Some drivers came into pit road there. Do you think tires matter all too much?
I really don't know. When earlier in the race we came in after a 16-lap run and our tires were 99, and then the next time we came in for a 30-lap run they were in 92. So tires are all up in the air, so no one really knows what it's going to be like.
It will be a delicate balancing act to find out what is going on with the tires. 5 laps to go. Green flag going to come out with 4 to go. So any final thoughts?
I don't know. I just want to get this hemophilia racing car in victory lane. It's been a while since I've got there, so see what we can do.
There we have it. Hunter Terpstra going to be 4th on the board here. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Nice.
And Terpstra going to be on his way in his voice chat. The number 27 looking to get himself into the top of the board. That's going to be Brandon Timon, the number 34. Now on the high side with Nicholas Pressey on the low. And these two drivers have had a great control of this race. We'll see whether or not they're able to keep it going from there. Nicholas Pressey, who seems to be the king of using the air to his advantage, got to lead by himself from the outside line. No help. The inside line was all stacked up against him, and the odds were stacked up against him, and there he was, able to get himself back out front. Josh Coloni blinks in the background. Going to be a minor situation there. It seems like it's all good as 4 laps to settle this race. The All-Star race, this one is for all the marbles. Here in Atlanta, everyone looking to get the victory here as Nicholas Pressey there with Brandon Timon in prime position to get it done. It's Ford on Ford front row, then Chevy's in the second, and then 2 Chevys right behind him. An All-American front row. It's going to be the 94 and Brandon Timon, the manufacturer's All-American. Here in the heart of the South, it's Atlanta, Georgia. The All-Star race is going to come to what could be the final run. 4 laps to green. Let's go at it once again. The restart is underway, led by Nicholas Pressey. And this might be the closest jump we've seen off the restart for the whole race, as right now it's going to be Pressy right there with Brandon Timon, and Nicholas Pressy able to hold on strong with the driver of that number 34. With Aaron Brown in the mix as well, every one of these drivers knows that aggression is all you're going to have to use to get up to the top of the board. 3 laps to go this time by, and everyone is going to have to push like this is the last lap of the championship race. Atlanta All-Star, no points on the line. No, I don't even know if there's going to be a cash prize at the end of the night. I do believe there might be. We will find out. But these guys are going for all the bragging rights they can get, as side by side we're going to be everyone with the top 2, as Hunter Terpstra goes to that inside line now. They're all going to get crossed over and they're going to go wrecking 2 in the wall. Everyone else is going to be able to save it. No, it's going to be multiple cars back in the field. Will it be a wreck? It looks like it is a wreck. No yellow until now. Green, white, checkered. We're going to get it. And Hunter Terpstra went for the aggressive maneuver, and we will go an extended green, white, checkered finish. Hunter Terpstra down and around, one of those drivers involved. Let's take a quick look. 15 seconds back. See Terpstra there, gets a nasty block pulled on him. And that could be what set this one into motion. And that it is time. We're going to block him. And it's going to be a big push from Pressy. Gets into Aaron Brown. And now we have a 2-lap dash to finish it off. Carter Casey gets hooked. And that, I believe, is what brings out the yellow. And I don't believe if we did not have that hook, we would have had a yellow. So that is going to cause one more chance. Brandon Timon out in front. Vinny Tigner there in second. And Cameron Perez in third with Cody Webster position number 4. Now, Cody Webster, your Daytona winner, going to be top 4 on the board so far. And it will be an overtime finish to settle the All-Star race. So, Cody, what's it going to take to come out on the top of the board as we pass our 100th lap?
Get lucky, not get wrecked, not get turned, and have the right pusher or helper, I guess you want to say. That's how it's going to get done, and I don't know if I can do it, but I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to go back to back on Super Speedway. That'd be nice.
And it would be great to see her because it seems like every driver pushing to the limits, even though it's not a points race, not the season opener like where you won at Daytona. So what's it going to take for you? How aggressive are you going to be?
I'm going to push. I ain't going to lift. I mean, in my way, you're either going forward or you might get turned. I mean, you better hold a steady wheel. I'm going to expect the same at anybody behind me. I'm going to take it and take every run I get. And if I make it 3 wide, I'll make it 3 wide. I have to make it 4. I don't know if we could fit 4, but I'll put my truck where there's an open gap.
And, of course, looking for the openings. And it looks like one opening you went down onto was pit road about 5 laps ago. Tires don't appear to be playing a major factor. Do you have any insight on that?
It depends what line you run. It does kind of free up a little bit or get on the bottom and up high is a little tighter. My tire did wear on that run probably a good 6-7% equally. So that's good for me. It wasn't really moving around too much, but they make somewhat a difference. I just took them because I had them and hope for the best.
And hoping for the best indeed. This time by, I believe we will go down to 1 lap to green. So before the race is over, any final thoughts?
No. I hope I get a win. I hope I can talk to you in like 5 minutes.
There we have it. Cody Webster looking to get this one done. Your Daytona winner looking to go back-to-back in the Super Speedways. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That's going to be Cody Webster back on his way. The driver, that number 91 machine on the move. And it will be leading us to our first green-white checkered attempt. Brandon Timon, the man on the top of the board, qualified in last. And over 100 laps into this race, he is in first. Would you look at that? This could be an upset win to usurp every upset win we've seen so far. This is the race to remember. If the number 34 machine can pull it off from last to first in a 100-lap shootout, it's going to be a bit more than 100 laps now, but surely one race that this man will never forget if he's able to come out on the top of the board. Vinny Tigner, second. Cameron Perez is going to be third, and Cody Webster rounds out the top 4 as we get things going one more time in Atlanta. And it's going to be Brandon Timon, of course, the man who leads us off. And with that being said, 2 more drivers catch up to the end of the pack, and the battle will rage on just one more time. Bryce Lassiere looks like he's still on the circuit, 64 laps down on pit road for 43 minutes. Here we go again. And it will be the iRacing official pace truck diving down for what could be the final time. If we get to the white flag, this race will be over, and there will be no ifs, buts, or whatnots. It looks like it's going to be all about what these guys have for one more lap Focus on what you got now and not what you got later as the iRacing official pace car dives in. First overtime attempt here in Atlanta. The All-Star race could come down to this. Let's go racing once again. And Brandon Timon gets a masterful jump there. Now he's going to be out in front and through the backstretch with this time by. They are not double file there just yet. It looks to be mostly single file. Now Vinny Tigner goes out of the inside line. And this is when things get intense. The 34 machine holds on with the 99 as they come down the line. This time by, it will be the white flag if they make it. Vinny Tigner's going to go around with Cody Webster. And it looks like that they will. 1 lap to go. 2 cars have already wrecked. 2 trucks as a matter of fact. And Brandon Timon now not going to be in it. Cody Webster going to get involved there. And so does Cameron Perez. They're all going to be wrecking behind him. Perez is in second. Pressy gets into the number 10 machine. That's Mike Campbell now. And Jordan Kuntz not going to be there until he gets it. And now the 00 going to be in the mix. Cameron Perez not going to hold off. Vinny Tigner has a great advantage. But the 00 machine is a big run. A big send as a matter of fact. And coming to the line, the 99 out in front. And it looks like he's just able to make it. So it's going to be Vinny Tigner winning the Stock Car Racing League Redline Trucks All-Star race in all-star fashion. Nobody was able to get up to him on that final run. He had it as soon as he got that car length of advantage, and he will be able to take it home on top. Vinny Tigner, top of the board, and what a way to do it. Able to masterfully go through over 100 laps and take home the victory here in Atlanta. Your results go as follows. It will be the following, of course. Vinny Tigner wins over Jordan Kuntz. Your pole sitter finishes 1/10 behind. Cameron Perez comes home in third, and Nicholas Pressy comes home in fourth. Josh Coloni gonna be a hard charger tonight, 17th to 5th, and Mike Campbell's in 6th. Carter Casey 7th. Hunter Terpstra in 8th. Brandon Timon and Cody Webster round out your top 10. From there on out, Aaron Brown, final driver on the lead lap as Davis loses 24 laps down, and retirees go as follows. Michael Deitch, Corey Rexford, Stephen Boynton, Sam Benson, Jonathan Byram, Barrett Flo, and Bryce Saucier as Jordan Kuntz burns it down in the background. Carter Casey gonna burn it down as well. And what a burnout it is for an incredible victory as Vinny Tigner comes home your all-star winner and the winner of all winners. This is one any driver up in front wants, and he was locked into the show. He was here for a reason. His points run so far in the season, second in the points tally, and first of the All-Stars. One to remember as he continues to burn it down. And that is far from it. It appears the number 99 continues to put down a show. And now the 99 looks to be actually getting on his way to winner's circle. And he's going to burn it down once again. Still on the track. Getting off the track now, as a matter of fact, it's going to be the number 99 machine of Vinny Tigner, the man who comes home on the top of the board, and what a way to win it for the driver of that number 99 machine. Let's get him in the broadcast booth here, because this is one he's not going to forget. Vinny Tigner comes home on the top of the board of the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series All-Star race, and an all-star finish there for you. How did you get it into motion?
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, it was just that restart was pretty key right there, and I don't know who it was that was in front of me there, and came up the block, and I had that run on the inside, and I was very fortunate there to take the lead, and had some help behind Cameron there, and then I saw Jordan coming up and had to throw one last block on him, and succeeded. So that was good.
And it seemed to be a very good race on your end, able to execute at the end. So what got you into plan there to go as hard as you could? Because it seems like aggression, well calculated, was the way to go to finish off on top.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. Before that last restart there, we some guys pitted, and I'm sure some of them had damage from the wreck, but I decided to stay out and get that track position, and because I knew it was just going to be hard to pass, so just wanted to stay out front, and it worked out.
And it did indeed work out, able to come home on top here, the second super speedway we've seen this season. Now, when it comes down to the remainder of the season, this won't impact it all too much, if at all. So, what have you learned when it comes down to Atlanta, as it is going to be, of course, a track that we see in the future of iRacing and the NASCAR Cup Series, so could come back in the future as perhaps a regular season event.
Yeah, obviously no points on the line tonight, but winning's always great. So momentum, that's what I'm hoping carries over to the next few weeks, and because I need it. The last few races been taken out, and just had to manage, what I can at the time, and but yeah, I just want to carry this momentum a little bit and see what happens from there.
And certainly hoping to carry this momentum. Next race on the schedule going to be Nashville SuperSpeedway. So a much different change of pace here. And the remainder of the season, you will have, of course, a lot of momentum to build off of tonight. Any final thoughts, anyone you'd like to thank?
I just hope. I just want to thank you for broadcasting, and I hope people that tuned in enjoyed the show. Yeah, just want to, and shout out to Brian Russo too. Yeah, he made this paint last minute for me, and came out good too.
And there we have it. Driver of the number 99 machine and Vinny Tigner, top of the board in the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series All-Star Race, your winner in our 100-lap showdown. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Drag him back in, and there you have it. Jordan Kuntz able to come home second on the board, and how about that? Kuntz started on the pole position, able to come home in second, so a 10th back. Was there anything that could have gone there? As it appears he might have been brought into the wrong room. Jordan Kuntz, get a copy.
Yes, I do.
Well, second place of the night here, just about a 10th of a second back. What, of course, could have gone there to get you that victory?
Well, of course, got really lucky with the caution at the end to get back on the lead lap after my mistake on pit road. Had gotten damage also in the middle stage from a checkup that I couldn't see coming, so carrying damage for half of the race, and just lucky that I got back onto the lead lap, but I could have done a lot differently to win the race and get the bragging rights for winning the All-Star race.
And able to get, of course, a great finish nonetheless. So when it came down to strategy, was there anything different that could have been done, or was it just all about that final restart?
I mean, this race is all about the final restart, but of course, the strategy didn't help with the cautions, trapping me a lap down and my mistakes, but got fortunate enough to get back on the lead lap and even have a shot at winning.
And the shot at winning, you almost were able to take it there with a big run at the tail end. Another Super Speedway on the season. Now our next race, when we get back to points paying competition, Nashville Super Speedway. How's that going to fare for you?
Nashville Super Speedway. It's one of my favorite tracks. I like the concrete tracks like Dover and Nashville. So hoping to do really well and get my season back on track with another top 5.
And certainly has a lot of momentum coming through. Jordan Kuntz currently going to be your, I believe, points leader going into this one, and still going to be coming out of it. So the 00 machine, a lot of momentum still to build off of. Any final thoughts? Anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to give a shout out to Blaze McKinney for designing this amazing truck tonight. Did an amazing job with it, and I really loved the outcome of it. Even with the mistake of making it chrome, turned out really nice. And shout out to everybody who ran this race. It was a lot of fun, and I got a good result out of it.
And there we have it. Jordan Kuntz able to come up with a good result before we get back to our points-paying racing next weekend. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That's going to be the driver of the number 00 machine, Jordan Kuntz, there in second. And finally, to round out your podium, Cameron Paris of number 24, able to come home in third. So, no podium finish, very close to the tail end of it there. So, what was it that got you through for that podium result in the final restart?
Yeah, just a lot of blocking. I really wanted to get Vinny the win there. Me, Vinny, and Carter working together in the race all race, and I was hoping to get one of us to win. I was a little damaged there from the previous wreck, but I was able to help Vinny, and just happy to get a podium finish, I guess. Just a lot of blocking.
And certainly seemed to be that the podium finish had teamwork as the plan for every driver. It was a big push at the tail end with a lot of momentum for drivers outside of that top spot. Was there any thought in your mind about getting that victory yourself?
Well, the only thought I had again the victory at the end there was if Jordan Kuntz ended up turning Vinny there coming off of 4. But other than that, I was probably just going to end up finishing 3rd there on the podium.
Still, nonetheless, despite the wreck not happening, able to come home nice and clean there for 3rd. Now, Nashville, the next season, of course, next season is going to be in way past here. Next race, though, it is going to be Nashville, and could be one to remember and could have it on the next season if it goes well. So how's it going to be for it to go well for you?
Oh, yeah. Nashville is one of my best tracks. At least like 20% of my official series wins on iRacing for ovals have come at Nashville, so I love Nashville. Great track. Hoping to get a win there. I'd be disappointed with the podium. I'm hoping to get a win there.
And there we have it. High hopes for Cameron Perez next week, able to come home with the podium tonight and looking for much more than that next week. Any final thoughts?
Just thank you for broadcasting every week, and glad to get a podium.
And certainly a great finish to cap off a night of All-Star Racing. Cameron Perez comes home third in the All-Star Racing, the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And there we have it as we watch back on the finish. That is the checkered flag on screen, as it was Vinny Tigner who came home on the top of the board. And that's going to conclude the interviews for tonight's event. Your podium procedure as Vinny Tigner comes home top of the board in the Stock Car Racing League Redline Truck Series All-Star Race. Got to thank you all for watching tonight. A great show put on. 2 races we broadcasted, and of course one of which here later on in the night, and of course the Gavin Austin Full Send Super Speedway Series earlier in the day. 2 great shows. Vinny Tigner comes on top of the night. We will be next live Monday night at Okayama, going to the Japan, and it's going to be the Integrity Ignite Series. Watch out for that, as it's going to be ignitions of some great racing. It's only going to be in the 150 kilometer range, but it will still be one to remember. Road course racing and a predominantly oval series always brings out fun. Gotta thank you all for watching tonight. We hope you enjoy the broadcast, and we hope to see you whenever we're live on FTN.